Deep in the misty hills of rural Japan lies a place that has haunted the imaginations of locals for decades, the Himuro Mansion. Nestled among towering cedar trees and shrouded in perpetual fog, this old estate stands silent, its weathered walls bearing witness to countless stories whispered in hushed tones. To those who live nearby, the mansion is far more than just an abandoned house. It is a symbol of mystery, fear, and the unknown. Its very presence seems to warp the air around it, casting long shadows even on the clearest days, inviting curiosity and dread in equal measure. Himuro Mansion's origins are as murky as the legends that surround it. Built nearly a century ago by a wealthy family whose sudden disappearance remains unsolved, the estate's history is tangled with rumors of tragedy. Some say the family vanished without a trace, while others claim bizarre incidents plagued the household before they left. Whispers of eerie noises, inexplicable phenomena, and chilling apparitions have long colored local storytelling. Yet none of these tales come with solid proof. Instead, they live on in the realm of folklore, passed down from generation to generation as cautionary tales or eerie bedtime stories. Approaching the mansion today, one is struck by a profound stillness that feels almost unnatural. The forest around it seems to hold its breath, and even the wind dares not disturb the heavy silence. Vines creep up cracked windows and door frames, swallowing them into the landscape. The paint peels away like old skin, and the tiles on the roof lie broken and askew. Time itself feels warped here, frozen by the mansion's dark past and the weight of countless rumors. Those locals who have dared venture close speak of an oppressive atmosphere, a sense of unseen eyes watching from within the decaying structure. They warn outsiders to stay away, believing the mansion to be cursed or inhabited by restless spirits. Despite the mansion's forbidding reputation, it has become a magnet for thrill seekers, paranormal enthusiasts, and urban explorers. But their visits often yield nothing more than flickering shadows and strange sounds carried by the wind. The line between fact and fiction grows blurred as eyewitness accounts feed the legend, embellishing and expanding its mysteries. Some claim to have glimpsed ghostly figures moving behind tattered curtains. Others tell of cold spots and sudden chills that defy explanation. Yet each story remains unverifiable, part of a larger, unresolved puzzle that only deepens the mansion's enigmatic aura. The Himuro Mansion thus occupies a peculiar space between reality and myth. It is not officially recognized as a site of supernatural activity, nor has it been the subject of scientific study to confirm any paranormal claims. Instead, it thrives in the world of local legend, a ghost story woven into the fabric of the community's cultural identity. In the face of this uncertainty, the mansion invites us to consider something timeless: how places can hold memories, fears, and stories that transcend the physical world. Beneath the surface of the Himuro Mansion's eerie silence lies a deep well of stories, whispered quietly by locals for decades. According to regional folklore, the mansion's origins are shadowed by tragic events believed to have set a dark tone for what followed. One popular account speaks of the Himuro family patriarch, a stern man rumored to have been involved in a violent incident during the mansion's early years. Local legends suggest the family endured a series of misfortunes, untimely deaths, mysterious disappearances, and strange illnesses that gradually tore them apart. Though no official records confirm these events, the story persists as an unsettling backdrop, hinting at unresolved sorrow and conflict within those decaying walls. Another piece of local lore tells of a devastating fire that reportedly swept through part of the mansion decades ago. While no verifiable documentation exists, some residents claim to have heard faint sounds of crackling flames or seen flickering lights on stormy nights when no one was near. These narratives often merge with broader supernatural beliefs, feeding imaginations and reinforcing the mansion's reputation as a place where the past refuses to rest. Visitors and locals alike have shared many accounts of paranormal experiences, adding layers to the mansion's enigmatic aura. Some speak of flickering shadows glimpsed out of the corner of their eye, figures vanishing when directly looked at. Others describe sudden temperature drops, a chilling coldness seeping into the bones with no natural explanation. There are stories of strange sounds, footsteps echoing through empty hallways, faint whispers in dead air, or doors creaking open on their own. Though impossible to verify, these reports are consistent themes in the mansion's folklore, passed along like fragments of a ghostly puzzle. The blend of Japan's cultural beliefs about spirits and the afterlife significantly shapes perceptions of Himuro Mansion. Traditional ideas about yurei, ghosts bound by lingering attachments or unresolved emotions, often surface in these narratives. Some suggest restless family members or victims of past tragedies have become yurei, trapped within the mansion's confines. This aligns with broader Japanese folklore, where haunted places are seen less as evil sources and more as reminders of sorrow and unfinished business. The mansion's haunted reputation is also fueled by the human desire to make sense of the unknown through storytelling. Every whisper, every unexplained phenomenon folds into the existing framework of fear and mystery. With each retelling, the mansion becomes more than an empty building. It transforms into a living legend, a cultural touchstone capturing the imagination and stirring primal fears. While stories of tragic history, spectral figures, and eerie sounds remain unconfirmed, their impact on the region's collective consciousness is undeniable. The Himuro Mansion stands as a monument not only to mystery, but also to the power of folklore itself. How stories born from rumor and fear can take on a life of their own, weaving history, culture, and the inexplicable into a haunting tapestry that continues to captivate all who hear it. The reason the haunting of Himuro Mansion remains unresolved is as complex as the mansion's shadowy silhouette itself. Psychological factors play a significant role, as the human mind is wired to seek patterns and explanations, especially when confronted with the unknown. Stories of ghostly sightings and strange sounds tap into universal fears, triggering the imagination to fill in gaps where evidence is lacking. The mansion's dilapidated state, its isolation, and the eerie atmosphere it exudes all contribute to a heightened state of alertness in visitors and locals alike. This collective anxiety can lead to misinterpretations of ordinary sounds or sights, fueling the legend further. Culturally, the enduring mystery of Himuro Mansion is deeply tied to Japan's rich tradition of ghost stories and spiritual beliefs. The concept of yurei, spirits bound by strong emotions or unfinished business, is woven into the cultural fabric, shaping how people perceive places like the mansion. These beliefs naturally foster a mindset in which supernatural explanations are not just possible, but often expected. The mansion itself becomes a canvas on which fears, hopes, and a cultural understanding of life after death are projected. This cultural acceptance of the supernatural allows the legend to persist without serious skepticism or scientific inquiry, preserving the mansion's mystique. Historically, the lack of clear records regarding the mansion's past has only deepened the enigma. Without concrete documentation of the family's disappearance or the supposed tragedies that befell them, the story is left to the domain of hearsay and rumor. This absence of fact invites speculation and embellishment, encouraging storytellers to add their own details over time. Each iteration of the tale acquires new layers, making it difficult to separate reality from fiction. This gap in historical certainty becomes fertile ground for the legend to grow, untouched by counter-evidence. Furthermore, the mansion occupies a unique space in the community's collective consciousness, acting almost like a living folklore character, one that evolves yet remains fundamentally inscrutable. The mansion's reputation deters thorough investigation, both by locals out of respect or fear, and by outsiders often motivated more by thrill than by a desire for truth. This hesitation ensures that the legend remains unchallenged, its mysteries intact, and its shadow stretches longer with each passing year. Folklore, like that surrounding Himuro Mansion, plays a crucial role in how societies shape their relationship with mystery and the unknown. These stories serve as more than entertainment. They are vessels of cultural values, collective anxieties, and historical memory, wrapped in the guise of ghostly tales. In the end, the mansion invites us to reflect on the delicate boundary between myth and reality. It challenges us to acknowledge that some places may never reveal their full truths, not because they lack them, but because the stories we tell become part of their very essence. As we stand at that border, where shadow meets light and reason blends with imagination, the Himuro Mansion remains an unresolved question mark, a symbol of how human culture creates meaning in mystery.